Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky urged the U.S. to expand sanctions on Russian oil from 2 companies to the whole sector as he visited London to meet with officials. The comments came as Zelensky spoke with 24 leaders of the Coalition of the Willing, hosted by UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, to discuss ways to force Russia to end its invasion of Ukraine. Zelensky also appealed to Washington to provide long-range missiles, which he sought in his meeting with Trump last week, to enable his embattled country to strike deep into Russia.
And I would say that, but since the beginning of the war, the countries alone have bought Russian energy worth more than
decisions. We really don't have something which can destroy ballistic. That's why Americans helped us, but also Europeans, because firstly, Europe delivered Patriot systems, but United States, they did it together because United States gave licenses for this. Yes, but I hope that we will.
In a private meeting with Starmer, Zelensky accused Putin of not being serious about ending the war as Russian strikes continued to pummel Ukrainian cities on Friday. The Ukrainian president also met with King Charles during his visit, where he was received with a guard of honor welcome to display London's support for Kyiv.
The Trump administration has finalized plans to open the coastal plain of Alaska's Arctic National Wildlife Refuge to potential oil and gas drilling. Trump's bill of tax breaks and spending cuts passed during the summer called for at least 4 lease sales within the refuge over a 10-year period. The decision has renewed a long-simmering debate over whether to drill in one of the nation's environmental jewels. Leaders and indigenous Gwich'in communities near the refuge consider the coastal plain sacred, noting its importance to a caribou herd they rely upon, and they oppose drilling there. Leaders of Kaktovik, another indigenous community within the refuge, support drilling and consider responsible oil development to be key to their region's economic well-being.
In an outline of China's blueprint for the next 5 years, Chinese officials have vowed to reduce reliance on foreign advanced technology and boost domestic production amid heightened trade tensions with the U.S. The news came after officials in the ruling Chinese Communist Party concluded 4 days of high-level talks in Beijing and released plans for the next 5 years. The 5,000-word communiqué was released on Thursday, just days ahead of planned talks between Chinese President Xi Jinping and his U.S. counterpart Donald Trump. The new plans feature no major policy shifts for Beijing, despite ongoing global trade instabilities. The country instead looks to remain a global manufacturing powerhouse and continue to sustain economic growth. 5-year plans are a Soviet-style central planning method, which China still relies on heavily, to map out priorities and sort funding. These plenum meetings are also used as a way to rally the party's top members around President Xi's leadership.
In a historic ruling, a Paris court sentenced 27-year-old Dabia Benkired this Friday to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the rape, the torture and the murder of 12-year-old Lola Davier in 2022. The first time such a sentence has ever been handed down to a woman in France. The case horrified the nation for its brutality and ignited a fierce political debate after it was revealed that Benkired, born in Algeria, was undocumented and had been asked to leave the country just 2 months before the crime. Throughout the trial, Dabia Benkired showed no emotion, just as the verdict was read, a chilling contrast to the grief of Lola's family. Lola's mother and brother broke down in tears while the memory of Lola's father, who died last year after relapsing back into alcoholism, lingered over the courtroom. Benkired has now 10 days to appeal this decision.